What is up, everybody? What is going on? Welcome to the Woodward Bet Show. I got Spencer here with me today on a Friday, man, the day after St. Patrick's Day. You'd think that, the two of us would be laying under a rock or something today, but man, we're coming strong. We're coming strong today, so better be ready to bring it. But yeah, Spencer, what's going on today? Hey, I just saw your guys' episode with Terry Foster, man, on the heavyweights. That was a pretty good show. Appreciated watching that. Always having Mr. T-Foss on. But what's going on today, my friend?
Oh yeah, not much. It was a great day. Had a lot of fun yesterday. Obviously, recording with Terry. That's great, man. He's got stories for days. He knows everything. He's a legend. So we got some whiskey in us, and we had a good time that episode. We just got done recording a heavyweights episode with Sawyer, where we finished off that whiskey, and yeah, that was a lot of fun too. Today was Sawyer's last day at the station, so we said our goodbyes. We had some good conversations with him, and it's a sad day too because Sawyer's my boy. We had a lot of fun together, and I'm excited for him though to spread his wings, to get some new opportunities under his belt, and I'm sure he's gonna succeed at whatever he tries to do. So I'm happy for him. At the same time, I'm a little sad to see him leaving, but no, yeah, I had a good day yesterday. Went to the bar for a little bit, had some beers, put some beers back, and still recovering a little bit from that. So how was your day yesterday, Scott?
You know what? I actually took it easy. To me, that's like amateur day. I just didn't want to. I had to bowling last night. I didn't want to get all trash and go to bowling, but had a decent night bowling. I actually bowled 298. I choked away a 300 game last night. But either way, had a decent night. Won a few bucks bowling last night. But today is my day, Spencer. I'm gonna have at it today. Watch basketball all day. I usually have a few buddies come over. We hang out. We drink some beers. You know what? We have some Modelo's. Got
There
a
you
couple
go.
of them going down already, buddy. It's early. I've been at it for a little bit here today. Today's like one of my favorite days. You get to sit around, you get to watch basketball all day. I mean, this is fabulous, and I definitely can't complain. But to go on with Sawyer, we wish you luck there, buddy. He started out here on a Woodward Bet Show. I know Chris and I really enjoyed working with him. Great guy, nice guy, smart guy, and he is going to succeed, Spencer. Whatever he does, he's a good guy. But we wish him luck moving on. He always knows he's got friends back here at the Woodward Sports Network, especially the Woodward Bet Show. So we wish you luck, buddy. But yeah, good things to come ahead for Mr. Sawyer. But either way, Spencer, I hope he keeps his Piston shirts, takes them down there with him. Because I'll tell you what, dude, Pistons are free damn money. I mean, it's just like every time they play, it's just you just hand out money. You just hand out money. Spencer, on the show, I got to give you credit. You literally, kind of took some things we always talk about DFS, the usage. Guys are going to have to score points. We knew Saddiq Bey was going to have to score some points. His points prop was 19 and a half.
Yeah.
Dude, you called that. And he had that shit in the first quarter. The
Mm-hmm.
first quarter he has that. He goes off for 51. But Pistons, again, are covering the hottest team in sports. I can't even say it enough anymore. I mean, if you're not paying attention, I can't help you anymore. I mean, this shit is like free money. I mean, it's not getting to be stupid at this point. I've never seen a run like this on a certain team. I mean, imagine, Spencer, if you sat at a blackjack table and pretty much won like 13 hands in a row. I mean, it's incredible what they're doing. But, man, what'd you think of them Pistons last night? 51 from Bay, but good call on the over points total.
Yeah, that's all my Pistons props hit last night. I was really happy. I'm excited to watch them. They're playing well. They're putting out good performances, so it's awesome to watch. And I love seeing the team flourish. And yeah, like you said, I had the obvious prop that was Saddiq over 19 and a half points. I had another prop with Saddiq over 4.5 threes. He had 10 threes in the game. I had Corey Joseph, his over on points, which was at like 9.5, I think. He hit that, and his over on assists, and his assists were 2.5 or 3.5, and he hit over on that as well. So, I knew those guys were gonna have to make up with Cade and Jeremy Grant being out, and they sure did. And all my props hit yesterday, so I'm feeling pretty good. Even though my bracket got absolutely destroyed, but we'll get into that a little later. But no, these Pistons, they're
Yeah.
playing great basketball. They're competitive. It's exciting to watch. Coach Casey has them humming. When they lose their, arguably two of their top three best players in one of these games, and they're still putting out great performances like this. Saddiq stepped up, and everybody in the NBA has been getting 50 points recently, and so it's great to see a Piston do it. It's great to see Saddiq do that. When his number was called, he stepped up, he took care of business, and it was a great night to watch.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the Pistons are fun to watch. I know we're not there yet, but at least they're competitive. And the one thing I can say, like when a team sucks and they stay competitive, and they don't look like they've mailed it in, and you can tell when a team sucks and they've mailed it in, they don't care anymore. I mean, it's hard to even think about betting on a team like that. It's just there's no way. When I see that come out in the team, you're on my no way list, and I'm done. But the Pistons, I mean, night in, night out. I mean, they're out there, they're giving it. I mean, they're bringing it. You got to love it. I mean, I can't wait to see what the future is going to bring, Spencer, when we get a top level pick added to these guys here, maybe even a free agent. I mean, they might be right there, buddy. I mean, these guys might be a team, that you're going to have to watch out for, because I don't think our conference is all that strong compared to, compared to the West over there. But I mean, I'm looking forward to it. I can't wait. I think they're playing well. And, the rumor was Sacramento wanted Saddiq Bey for Bagley. And, we balked, said, no way, we're not giving up Bey for Bagley. We end up getting Bagley anyway. And then Saddiq, I mean, he's an important part for the Pistons. I hope, this team can kind of just be a core here. We can keep these 5-6 guys and build around them and see what happens. I mean, to me, it's more fun rooting for a team like that than a team that's just kind of slapped together. Like if I was a Lakers fan, you're just slapping together these clowns that are coming in, these old guys on veterans, and you got LeBron only there for a couple years. I mean, to me, I would rather root for a team like, like the Tigers, man. Like if they went in a couple years and they got these rookies and all these young guys coming up, you just kind of can more gel with the team. You can relate to a team like that. You're rooting for them as it comes up. I think all our sports teams are in that mode right now, and it's fun, exciting times, definitely to be a Detroit sports fan. But yeah, Spencer, I got to give you some kudos there on the Saddiq Bey call. I mean, see, that's where sometimes your DFS knowledge and a little bit of your DFS, what you apply there works great in the sports betting props. We know that Yusha's got to go somewhere. You look at the props, and the highest guy for the Pistons was 19 points. I mean, come on, they're going to score 100 and some, so it's got to be coming from obviously somewhere. But Spencer, man, the big bomb yesterday in the NFL. How about this one? How about, who saw that one coming? DAVANTE Adams going to the Raiders. Who saw that? I surely didn't. But I mean, them lines dropped. The Raiders went from 50-1 to win the Super Bowl to 38-1. Packers are down to 11-1 now. But man, I mean, highest paid player, non quarterback player in the NFL at this spot. To me, I mean, that's a huge luxury. I don't think you win the Super Bowl. Last time I checked, you can't say, oh, this wide receiver took a team to the Super Bowl. I mean, I can't ever recall one. It's always either, a running back or just a straight up defense or a quarterback. That's always got there. To me, I think you just got to have a decent core of receivers, and it'll get you there. I think the Raiders maybe made a mistake, but damn, that division, Spencer. Oh, man, that's like a stinking Pro Bowl division over there. How much more can they add to that division? But what'd you think, DAVANTE Adams going to the Raiders?
Yeah, I mean, it was crazy. I didn't see it coming. I don't think a lot of people outside of the Packers organization saw that specific move coming. Obviously, he said he wasn't going to play for the franchise tag. He wanted to get paid. They just gave Aaron Rodgers that crazy contract, so they didn't have enough money to give DAVANTE what he wanted, and you knew he wasn't going to make less than Christian Kirk. Christian Kirk signed for $21 million a year, and DAVANTE Adams is at the top of the receiver class. He's the creme de la creme. He's the best you can get. And seeing what Christian Kirk made, you knew that DAVANTE Adams was going to make more than that. And the Packers just simply didn't have the money to give him what he wanted. And so I want to know how Aaron Rodgers feels about that, because they had that connection. They built that, relationship between each other. He was his number one guy for a long time. After, those years when he had Jordy Nelson and Donald Driver and Greg Jennings, it was DAVANTE Adams. And, I love him personally. Like I just said, I think he's the best receiver in the game. There's not a lot he can't do. He's a great route runner. He creates space better than anybody in the league. He catches the ball at a fantastic clip. He doesn't have too many drops. And yeah, like you said though, it is a luxury position, and it's hard to, rationalize allocating so much of your cap space to that one wide receiver when one wide receiver doesn't make the difference. You need a core of wide receivers. You need a team working together, and we'll see how it goes. That AFC West is an arms race, and we saw the Raiders. They went out and they got Chandler Jones. They went out and they traded for Davante Adams. So they're trying to keep up with the Chiefs and the Broncos and the Chargers in that division, and I can't wait for that. That's going to be some great football to watch, as those teams that have just revamped, reloaded, turned into the best division in football by a long shot. And it's going to be great football to watch when those teams go against each other.
Yeah, absolutely. Spencer, I thought I saw something where I think it's like the first 6 or 7 Monday night games are all AFC West. They're one of the AFC West teams are involved, like the first 7 or something ridiculous. So yeah, I mean, damn, that division is sick, man. I mean, if you're a season ticket holder at one of those division teams, I mean, you literally are getting almost half your games are just A quality teams walking in the door. I mean, it's going to be tough. I still stand behind my thing, man. I've been saying, I've said it, this is the 3rd time I've said it now on the show. Patrick Mahomes will not make the Super Bowl in the next 5 years. Again, he's not. Yeah. He's not getting there. I don't care what anybody says. I mean, you got Josh Allen, Joe Burrow. Now you got to win in that division. He's being paid now. His salary. I mean, once you pay that quarterback, I think it makes it so much tougher to build and have a pretty good roster. When you're paying a guy 40-some million, like now with the Packers, you know what, we talk about Davante Adams. In reality, Spencer, to me, you know those conversations have had to happen behind the scenes, like who's getting paid. If you do this, you're going to handicap. We can't have Davante. All those kind of conversations are happening. They got to be said. And to me, they're both all arrogant guys that only care about the money. They don't care about winning. They really don't. I think Aaron Rodgers probably knows that he probably couldn't win if he took that money. He knows damn well there's no way they could have won with Davante Adams getting paid. So he just basically said, when I took that money, I mean, they would have had to collaborate and work together and said, hey, we'll give a hometown discount. Both of us want to play together. We'll take less. That's the things you've seen across in the past. That wasn't obviously happening here. So, I mean, hey, and if I'm Davante Adams, I basically tell Aaron Rodgers, hey, I'm leaving, man. I'm going to get paid too. But, those conversations happen where, I mean, they got to be relaying that, hey, man, if you do this, this happens. They knew what the consequences were of him signing that and this and that happening. So I don't think it really came as a surprise to the Packers. I think Aaron Rodgers knows that he was going to end up bailing and leaving. But, let's end up hearing what he says. We'll see what the Packers go out and do. I mean, there's some guys. You know what? Our luck, they're going to go out and sign or draft one of those Ohio State receivers, Spencer, and then they're going to be a thorn in our ass, Oliver, one of them guys with Aaron Rodgers. I mean, to me, I think receiver, that's why I would never pay a Davante Adams. I think receiver is pretty easy to replace. I mean, you can get, there's generally easier to replace in the free agency wire and even the draft. You can get those guys. I mean, guy like Cooper Kupp comes along. I mean, he wasn't known as that great of a receiver in his first few years in the NFL. Yeah. So to me, you put a guy in the right spot, right, coordinators, shit happens. But
yeah, and like what you were saying with not being able to go after you pay the quarterback, it's so much harder to build a Super Bowl caliber team around them because you're allocating so much of your money to that one position, and that's why you see we saw Patrick Mahomes get there and win on his rookie deal. You see the Chargers with Justin Herbert, one of the best quarterbacks in the league right now, on his rookie deal, so they can go out and they can get all these weapons around him. They can sign these crazy defensive signings and pay all these guys all this money because they've got their quarterback, the most important piece, on such a cheap contract. And when you're paying your quarterback, $40 million a year, it's hard to build that team around him when you need, because it's not just, no matter how good your quarterback is, it's not a one-person game. Football is the ultimate team sport. And so you have to have that offensive and defensive line. You have to have playmakers on the outside, and you have to have secondary to combat the other receivers. And so it's tough. Like you said, it's tough to build a Super Bowl caliber team around a quarterback you're paying $40 million a year. But with the Packers, like you said, they've still got, I think it was $20 million in cap space. And what I saw a report that Rodgers knew Adams was gone when he signed that deal. He already knew that that was going to happen when he signed the deal. So I don't think that played into the role as much. But I can see the Packers going out and, there's still some pretty solid veteran receivers on the market. They can go out, they can get an OBJ. They can go out, they can get a Julio Jones. And like you said, they can draft one of those guys out of Ohio State or a Burks or a London in the draft, and then they'll have some weapons. And so we'll see what they do. It's still the infantile stages of this NFL free agency. We don't know how these teams are going to look, but I find it really hard to believe that the Packers won't do something to give Aaron Rodgers some weapons on the outside.
Yeah, I mean they'll get him something, that is for sure. I know what it's not getting. I'm not getting is $1,000 or a pair of Yeezys from the Woodward Sports Bracket Challenge. There, Spencer. My bracket went to shit yesterday. Might as well just throw it in the damn garbage. I had Kentucky winning, and obviously that's not going to work out for me. But how's your bracket looking? Obviously Michigan won yesterday. Lots of upsets. Lots of great. I mean, it started out with all the favorites winning right off the bat, and then all of a sudden it went. It kind of went batshit crazy there. But what'd you think there with that afternoon late slate of games we had?
Yeah, I had Michigan winning. I had Iowa losing, so those were good. But I had Kentucky the whole thing. So that yeah, I'm done. My bracket's gone. Like you said, crumpled up, throw it in the trash. But that's what it is. It's called March Madness for a reason. Nobody can see these things coming. It's wild. It's one of the best sporting events of the year for a reason. Everybody loves to see it. Like Kentucky, it's just they didn't have the guard play. They didn't have the point guard play because that's what the tournament is all about. It's about strong guard play. And Kentucky just didn't have it. They didn't have a point guard that could give it to them. That could drive their offense. That could give them that scoring punch. That could make plays when they needed to make plays. And that's what happens. You get upset in the first round because you don't have that talent in the backcourt. You don't have a person who can take the ball in his hands and drive your offense and make sure you score when you need to score. And yeah, it's my bracket's done. It is what it is. I sent a Slack message yesterday. What's the last place prize for the Woodward Bracket Challenge? Because that's the only thing I'm going to be collecting this year.
I'm with you there, buddy. I mean, my brackets they didn't fare too. I did pretty decent on some of my bets yesterday. I fared pretty well, but yeah, so far today did pretty well too. So I'm not definitely not complaining. But I mean, Spencer, I mean it is March Madness. That's what we say. We gave out the information that the last so many, like 16 national champions have been 5 seeds or better. So in reality, you got 20 teams. You got to mix it up. I mean, the guys that have like Providence and, different guys, UCLA and stuff like that. I mean, there's only a few people. If you run up and down, you can see the winners in the Woodward Sports Bracket Pool. I mean, if you end up picking one of those teams that there's only 4 or 5 people that are on to win, you pick that. I mean, you only got to beat those couple people in the other picks there, basically, to win that $1,000. I mean, but Gonzaga, now you got to beat what? I mean, 100 people or something that had that. It kind of makes it a little bit tougher along the way. But yeah, I mean, that's how you win these the brackets. I mean, you got to just kind of make a pick that's uncomfortable that you don't feel anybody else would make. But either way, Spencer, we still got some NBA to talk about. The forgotten kind of thing here on March Madness. NBA and NHL definitely taking a back seat. There was even some Tigers today. I don't know if you saw, but Spencer, I was fired up. Riley Green hits a bomb. Akil Baddoo hits a bomb, back-to-back bombs. Spencer Torkelson's hitting doubles. I mean, man, I can't wait for baseball to start. That's for sure.
Oh, yeah.
But Spencer, so what do we got here in NBA? No Pistons, though. We got 12 games, though, so far in NBA. Just kind of looking at some guys here that we're looking at being out. I mean, there's only a handful of guys that really matter tonight here. There's LeBron James, Embiid, Butler, Trae Young, Ja Morant, SGA, and De'Aaron Fox. I mean, those are the guys, De'Aaron Fox. So those are the guys that basically we got to pay attention to tonight as the game goes in for DFS purposes. But just kind of looking around, I mean, Utah is going to be a little bit light tonight, so I think that rotation has kind of tightened up a little bit. So maybe we can look at a guy like Clarkson for some value tonight. I think RJ Barrett And Burks is a guy that you could look at tonight too for some value, some there. But I think Joker is the guy I want to pay up for tonight, Spencer. But what do you think? You got any Carl Anthony Towns calls that you got in your back pocket again, like you had the other night, and get us 80, 90 points? What you got over there for us, buddy?
Yeah, I'm gonna try. And like you said, you guys always talk about the stars and scrubs lineup. So, I'm gonna try. Hopefully I can get another Carl Anthony Towns hitter right on the nose. But I like Kevin Durant tonight versus Portland. I think he's been kind of due. He's been seeing Kyrie go off for these 50-point games and watching that and seeing it all going crazy. So I really think Kevin Durant's gonna go in there. He's gonna give Portland buckets. There's nobody on that Portland team that can stop him. Obviously, there's nobody in the NBA that can stop Kevin Durant. He's the best offensive weapon the NBA has ever seen. And so going up against a G League team like Portland, I think he's just going to have a field day. The only thing is he might get pulled a little early because I think it's going to be such a blowout. But Kevin Durant, he's 10,500 on FanDuel. I like Jason Tatum against Sacramento. I was surprised to see he was under 10 grand. He's 9,500. And so Jason Tatum against Sacramento, again, that's a guy that nobody on the other team is going to be able to stop him. He's been playing out of his mind lately, so I can just see him continuing that streak and putting up some big numbers against the Kings, they've been playing better. The Kings have been playing better, but they're still not they don't have the caliber of player to go up against Jason Tatum. He's a superstar in this league, and he's going to do whatever he wants, whenever he wants against Sacramento. And other like scrubs to fix in with those stars that I've been looking at, DeAndre Jordan. If Embiid doesn't play, you can get DeAndre Jordan for $3,100, and he's going to be the starting center. They're going up against Dallas, so Dallas is kind of a run and gun team. They don't really have a actual big to put in there. They got Norman Powell that they play at center and some other guys. But if DeAndre Jordan gets the start there, you can pencil him in for 10 rebounds. You can pencil him in for 15 points, a couple blocks. And so if Embiid doesn't play, I could definitely see DeAndre Jordan getting some of those minutes and getting a lot of the usage. Another guy I like is Tyler Hero. He's almost a lock for sixth man of the year at this point. And without Jimmy Butler is a game time decision tonight, so we'll see if he plays or not. But if he doesn't, Tyler Hero is 7,400. And I think he's gonna have to pick up the slack for where Jimmy Butler is. He might even get the start. He's gonna be putting up a bunch of shots. He's a shot maker. He's a good player, and I could see him having a good game. And the last guy I like, again, injury situation, Kevin Huerter for the Hawks. If Trae Young doesn't play, this guy Kevin Huerter, he's a ball player. He's a good ball player. He can make shots. He's athletic. He's surprisingly good at distributing the ball, and he can knock down threes. And this guy's only 5,300 on FanDuel, so you can get him in your lineup cheap. And I think without Trae Young there, he's going to take a lot of that volume shooting that Trae Young does. He's going to get more buckets, more looks, more attempts, and I could see him, going for 25 points, 7 assists, 5 rebounds, something like that. So that'd be a nice little splash to throw in for cheap.
Yeah, I mean, Spencer, that's what we talk about. I mean, stars and scrubs lineups. I mean, them 7 guys I mentioned, those big 7 guys, that's a lot of usage. That's a lot of points, a lot of, fantasy points that are involved with those guys. So if those guys are out, you mentioned some guys there to fill in, for Embiid, for Trae Young. I mean, that's what you got to look for. So keep your ear to the ground here. We don't know quite yet exactly who's going to be in and out of those situations. So, yeah, that's just a good thing to pay attention to. Good advice there. And the other thing I like, too, with Jason Tatum, I like Luka a little bit. I do like Barrett. Like I said, I mean, he's so cheap. Durant, I like a little bit better as a play on DraftKings, actually, than I do on FanDuel. But DeJounte Murray's another guy you could look at. You're going to get some people they'll look at, like the Joker. They're going to go that way. I think Joker will probably be one of the top spend-up guys that are going to look for. But you know what? If you decide to go DeJounte Murray and maybe split it up and go Durant and go different ways, that's how you get different in the tournaments. So I don't mind that. Jordan Clarkson, I think, is going to be a guy a lot of people are going to use for the salary relief, as I mentioned earlier. Kevin Porter, Jalen Smith, there's Deshaun Tate, I think, is another guy you could use. Nikhil Alexander-Walker is another guy I think you could look at tonight. But for me, as we mentioned, Embiid, Joker, Durant, I think these are the guys that you got to look at. But NBA, as I said, you just got to pay attention. So those 7 guys there tonight, just depending on what goes, you should be able to get some value guys, help you get up to 2 or 3 big spend up guys. But that should pretty much do it there for the NBA, Spencer. Yeah, you see these Big 12 game slates, no Pistons. I was like, damn it, man. I mean, it's like free money day when the Pistons play, but a little disappointed they weren't in there. They had that island game yesterday, but either way, looking forward to next time they get out here. But need to give a shout out to our sponsors of the show here. So let's queue up our better rate spot here. So have at it here, Fletch.
Hi, I'm John from Better Rate Mortgage, and to me, family is more than blood. That's why I have the biggest family in Metro Detroit. If you're looking to buy a house or refinance and need a loan, come get treated better than family by me and our entire team here at Better Rate Mortgage. We pride ourselves on giving you better advice, better service, and a better loan experience. That's why we are Better Rate. If you're looking for a new mortgage, come get treated like family. Actually, better with Better Rate Mortgage. Visit us at mybetterrate.com or call at 248-480-4467 today.
Yep, there you go. So appreciate Better Rate being part of the show. We'll have to let all these new Lions and future new Lions here. We got new, even a new Tiger. I think we're still going to get a new Tiger or two coming through with all this free agency. So have to pass along that information as well. But I also want to give another shout out to a sponsor of the show, and that is the Jars Cannabis Company. They offer delivery, in-store pickup, and in-store shopping as well. But Michigan's largest variety for any of the lifestyle needs. Jars Cannabis is a medical and recreational retailer located throughout Michigan, Lansing, Detroit, Grand Rapids, and more. And hey, if you mention Woodward Sports, you get 20% off your order. You get, spend $100, you get a couple pre-rolls or maybe even a bag of edibles, like I like to say. So make sure you mention that. Go in there and check them out. Got a lot of nice bud tenders in there. Always like making the visit over there. So make sure you guys are checking them out as well. But Spencer, of course, the big news of the day, we got NCAA tournament, all kinds of action already going on today. We still got 8 games after 6:50 today. So let's just take a quick peek here at all the games that we got going here. Of course, the first one here at 6:50, we got Chattanooga in Illinois. Illinois -8, over under is at 136. Illinois, 54% of the money coming in here. I mean, Kofi Cockburn, as we know, Big Ten team going up against Chattanooga. What do you think here about here? You like the points here? Are you willing to give them away? What are you thinking in this spot?
I'm rolling with the points here. I think Illinois is overrated. Really, I think they're going to go down early in this tournament. I don't think they're going to win or lose here. So, but they might. So that's why I'm going with the points. I think Chattanooga is going to keep it within the 7.5. I'm definitely going to take the points there. I don't know. Illinois, they've got Kofi and they've got, a dominating post presence in there, but that's just not what wins you games in the tournament. It's all about guard play. It's all about what are your guards going to do for you. And I can see Chattanooga coming in here, maybe even upsetting Illinois. I don't think it's going to happen, but I'm going to go with Chattanooga with the points.
You know what? I was just kind of looking at some stats. When you look at this team here, Chattanooga is one of the most efficient offense in the country. They rank 30th in points scored per possession, and Illinois' defense is 93rd in points allowed per possession. So just kind of looking at that, I think Chattanooga is going to be able to score on them here. So I actually like an overplay here, but I do like the points in this game. That's for sure. So give me the points here in Chattanooga. But the other game, we got a bunch of games here going off from like 6:50 to 7:30. The other one we got, of course, Cal State Fullerton going against Duke here. All the talk here is, when's Coach K's last game going to be? Is this going to be it here? Does Duke move on? They should move on here. Obviously, you start out this tournament 2 versus 15 seed, but just kind of looking Duke -18.5. It's been bet up. 1.5 here, start out at 17. The over-under start at 142, been bet up to 145. I'll tell you what, Spencer, I love the over in this game here. I've already bet it. I think the over is the best play. I think Cal State Fullerton's going to want to run. I think Duke has the athleticism to keep up here. So give me the over in this one. But what do you feel here? Do you think they got any chance here? You like the points? Or how do you feel about my over bet?
No chance here. I think Duke runs away with it. I think it's a 20-point game. And yeah, like what you said, I like the over here. I think Duke's going to put some serious numbers on the board. I think they'll score, in the high 80s to around 90. And yeah, definitely take the over on this one. And it's not going to be another Kentucky result. Coach K is not going to let that happen. These guys aren't going to let that happen to Coach K. They're not going to let him go out in the first round in his last tournament. So definitely take the over. I like that a lot. That's probably the best play here. But yeah, I don't think it's going to be close. So I wouldn't even play the points.
Yeah, I mean, Cal State does have a big 6'7" forward, EJ Anasaki, some guy from Tennessee, but I just think, they just don't have enough to handle Duke's big front line that they got. But yeah, I agree with you there. But I do like the over in that one, as I mentioned there. But the other one we got here, Iowa State at LSU here, LSU -4, 53% of the money is coming in on Iowa State as a underdog here, but I don't know here, Spencer. Just kind of had a hard time with this one. This isn't one I was really all that impressed with here, but LSU is pretty good in points allowed per possession, but defensively. So I think with that in mind here, I'm going to roll with LSU. But what are you thinking here on this game?
I'm going to go with Iowa State with the points. I think they're going to keep it close. I think they might even upset LSU here. But I'm definitely going to take them with the points. You get that 4.5. That makes it even easier. It's a 2-possession swing you got there. So I'm going to take them with the points. I think they'll win. So I might even take them on the money line, but definitely with the points.
Yeah, I mean, they did get rid of LSU. I mean, we'll see how those players respond. They just fired their coach on Saturday here. They had a lot of turnovers. They shoot up, throw up, a lot of threes, inconsistent shooting the threes. But I kind of probably lean the under in this one too. But yeah, LSU, I think for me, just because they're a little bit better defensively. But losing the coach, I think that mentally could hurt them. Not one of my favorite bets in the tournament, but just want to give something out there for that one. But the other game, we got Wright State against number 1 Arizona, 21.5, 156. This spread hasn't moved either way anyway. But I just think this one here, Arizona is really good statistically all over with points per possession given up defensively, points offensively, margin of victory stats, everything really bodes well here for Arizona. 21.5. I normally don't like taking big spreads here, Spencer, but if I had to take something, any of the bets here, I think I would just roll with Arizona minus 21.5. I may even look at Arizona minus 10 or 11 in the first half, but I think Arizona is a team that's going to be way too good here. I don't think they have any issues here, but I could be wrong. But what are you thinking?
No, I'm with you on that. Like what you said. I mean, Arizona's got too much talent for this team. They're going to run them out of the gym. I don't like personally, like you said, even though I think Arizona's that much better than them, 21.5 points is so much. It's hard to predict that much of a scoring differential, even with the talent that is so astronomically one-sided. But what I do like here, I like the under on the 156.5. I think Arizona's going to get up big. They're going to get up big early, and then they're going to kind of pack it in. They're not going to play, like I said the other day, they're not going to keep going downhill, keep trying to score buckets on this guy. They're going to take time with every possession, draw out as much time as they can in the shot clock. And yeah, I like the under here as a play.
Yeah, I agree with you there. I mean, that is a pretty high number. I mean, that last game, Iowa State LSU was 128. This one's 156. But yeah, I agree with you. Especially if they get up, they're just going to slow it down anyway. But now we're going to get into the later stretch of 4 games starting at 9:20. We got UAB number 12 playing number 5 Houston. Now I think Houston should be a little higher seed in my opinion. They just got punished for not having any top teams on their schedule. But Houston is a top Ken Palm team. I really like Houston here. A lot of my brackets actually had them moving ahead, but UAB, I think, is a tough task for them here coming out. They actually rank top 50 in a lot of the Ken Palm teams. But, man, I don't know here. I think this is going to be a tough matchup. I think I'll take the 8 points here, but I do like Houston to win.
Yeah, I'm right with you on that one. Like you said, these 12-5 matchups are always the upset watch. It happens every year that one of these goes out that way. And UAB is a better team than people are giving them credit for. Although I think Houston wins, I think they're the better team overall, and I think they move on. I can definitely see UAB keeping it to, a 5-point game. So give me UAB with the points here.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, hey, we saw it yesterday. If you're not sure, just to me, I almost feel like just taking the points. I mean, it's just these underdogs. I mean, it just seems to be too many possessions. Too many tight possessions. The games don't seem to get too far, but it does seem like, man, when they get away from a team, man, they really get away from a team. It's just a blowout. But yeah, most games seem to be pretty close here. But Spencer, we'll skip by the next game here. I don't think it has any relevance here. Nobody really cares about that Davidson Michigan State game. Do you think we care about that one there? But oh, that's right. I know you do. So we'll talk about that one here. But I'll tell you, man, this one here, I think this one here is just pure disrespect to the Big Ten. I'm not going to lie. -1 here for the Sparties, over under at 145.5. I think the Big Ten is obviously one of the best teams, and it is the best team in the country. There's no doubt about it. But Davidson, I get it. But give me a break, man. I think this is free money here today. Call me, whatever you want here. But I'm taking the Sparties. I just think the Sparties going to kick their ass here. But what do you think here, Spencer?
Yeah, I mean, obviously I'm going with Michigan State here, but it scares me because this season, this Michigan State team has been so unpredictable. You don't know what you're going to get on a night-to-night basis. They could go out there and they could beat Davidson by 20. They could go out there and they could lose to Davidson by 20. So it's tough. It's really tough to pick, and I think that's why the spread is 1.5. It's such a small margin of error because you never know what you're going to get with this Michigan State team. And although I'm taking Michigan State, obviously. I think they're going to win, but I wouldn't be surprised if they got upset. I really wouldn't. And because they can go out there, they can turn the ball over 20 times and just look bad. But I think, with our superior athleticism to this Davidson team, I think we're going to lock down Foster Lawyer, the former Spartan guard who heads Davidson's attack. And, I think they're going to get it done for Izzo. I like the under on this, 141.5, under that. I like Michigan State on the money line. And but yeah, you never know. It's going to be tough. It's going to be a hard-fought game, but I do think Michigan State's going to pull it out. And with what you were saying about the Big Ten is why they're having this like disrespect. Although they have a lot of good teams. They 1 through 8 in the Big Ten are good teams. We have the most in the bracket, but they don't really have a great team. They don't have that. You wanted to say maybe it was Iowa. They're gone already. Maybe it's Purdue. We'll see what they can do. Jaden Ivey is one of the best players in the tournament. And so I think he's going to carry the team for a while. But they don't really have – the Big Ten they don't have that one great team that you're like, all right, they're a lock to get to the Final Four. So I think that's why we see some of these spreads kind of low.
Yeah, I just think, though, they're playing – you got to play on your money game every night in the Big Ten, and you can get your butt beat by even a Nebraska team. I mean, the Big Ten's a pretty good conference. It's just like, anybody can beat anybody. I mean, I think there are a lot of good teams, but there isn't. You're right. I mean, that one super great team. But I just think the Sparties here, Davidson's defense, they are not very good defensively. I think Michigan State has way better athletes. They got better size. They got a deep bench. I think the Sparties win. I think this spread should actually be Michigan State like -5 or 6, if you ask me. But no worries. That's what I thought the spread should be when I first saw the game. So I'm taking the Sparties here. I think it's a pretty good bet. I do like what you're saying about the under. I think the Sparties are going to have a little bit better defensively, and I think the Sparties are better offensively. I think the Sparties are better on both sides of the ball, and it's only one. Give me the Spartans all day. I think it's one of the better bets today. So you'll probably be hearing about that one here shortly. But either way, we got Colgate in Wisconsin. Beer Man's team out there in Vegas. We saw him on the bottom line yesterday. He was out there having some fun with the guys, with Ryan and Braylon. But, man, it looked like a great atmosphere being out there in the sports books. Man, that looks like something. Spencer, that's what we need to do next year. We're all taking our asses out to Las Vegas and having fun next time during this March Madness here. But what are you thinking about another Big Ten team, Wisconsin -7.5 against Colgate here? What do you think?
Yeah, I like Wisconsin. I'm going to roll with Beer's team here. Don't know, not going to lie, don't know much about Colgate, but I just think, with the type, like you said, going through that gauntlet in the Big Ten, although like I just said, there isn't any great teams. Wisconsin's one of the better teams. And I think I'm going to even take them with the points. I'm going to take them -7.5. I think Wisconsin's a good team. I think they're going to go out there. They're going to do what Wisconsin does. They're going to grind you out. They're going to hit big shots, and I could see them winning by 8 points.
Yeah, the only thing that worries me is Davis for Wisconsin. If he's not healthy, I think Wisconsin's really going to struggle. But you know what? In this spot here, I'm gonna disagree with you. I think I'm gonna just take the points with Colgate here. Colgate, third longest winning streak in the nation, 15 games. But yeah, I guess I'll just roll with that. But I'm not really strong on it. But that Davis injury kind of has got me a little worried about Wisconsin. So with that being kind of an unknown, 60% of the money, I'll just take this as a go against the public here. So give me Colgate in the points there. But last game before we got here, 8-9 matchup, TCU, Seton Hall. It's at a pick 'em here. But Spencer, this one here, I kind of went back and forth with in my brackets. I think I'm going to lean Seton Hall in this spot here. Can't say I'm really proud about it, but if I got to go anywhere, I think that's where I'm going here. But what are you thinking about this one?
Yeah, I'm with you on that one. I'm going Seton Hall. They're out of conference schedule. I think they're more battle tested than TCU is. They played some big teams. They played them tough. I like Seton Hall. Obviously historically a great college, great basketball college, and yeah, I'm gonna go with Seton Hall here. I'm gonna go with the over too. I think that's probably my favorite play. Like you said, it's a pick 'em. It's a 1 point spread, so it can go either way. But I like the over 130.5 on this game.
Love it, love it. So hey, we got to get to that part of the show here for our best bets, where we got to get some people for some winners here, Spencer. But before we do that, why don't we give some words of wisdom here today? Have some fun, but yeah, plug the Woodward heavyweights. Plug that if you want here. But what do you got here for us before we get to best bets?
Yeah, Woodward heavyweights. We like I said, we just recorded an episode with Sawyer. It was a great episode, a lot of fun. We had our one with Terry that was going out. Next week we're gonna do. I think we're gonna have DMAC on an episode. We're gonna have Braylon on episode 17 coming up soon. So we got a lot of good stuff coming for you guys. Subscribe to us on YouTube. We got our own separate YouTube from Woodward Sports. It's the Woodward Heavyweights. So you can go over there and subscribe to that. You can follow us on Twitter at the WHW Pod. And so, yeah, me and Easy, we're cooking up some stuff in here for you. And for words of wisdom, just bet responsibly. You guys always say it. Have fun with it. Don't bet any money that you can't afford to lose. Don't go too crazy. Obviously, this is a big time of the year for this. You got so much going on. So many people want to do these, 16-game parlays and all that stuff. Don't do that. Don't overstep your bounds. Just, bet responsibly, have fun with it, and don't put yourself in a hole that you can't recover from.
Absolutely. That is the best advice you can give. Just have fun with it, man. I mean, just have fun.
Yeah.
You could go to the casino, Spencer, and go sit at a blackjack table, drop you $200-$300 in about 15 damn minutes playing $25 a hand. But you know what? You could bet $20 a game all day, have fun, drink some beers, have fun, watch these games all day. And you're right. Stay away from those big ass crazy parlays. Those payouts look nice, but those odds are that odds for a reason. But either way, always bet responsibly. But Spencer, what kind of best bets you got for us today? Let's stay hot here and keep making us some money.
Yeah, I've been pumping out some winners here in the best bets, so hopefully I can keep that going. Me and you have been laying it down. We've been giving the people some lunch money. So tonight I'm going to stick with the NBA. That's NBA aside from football is my favorite sport. I love the NBA, and so I'm going to go with Phoenix. The Phoenix Suns -6.5 over Chicago. Chicago's might be missing Zach LaVine again, and Phoenix, even if they had Zach LaVine, I think Phoenix is a better team, and I think the spread is too low. So give me Phoenix -6.5. Another one I got is the Thunder and the Timberwolves. I like the over in that game. The over/under set at 219.5. I don't think there's going to be a lot of defense played in that game. I think they're going to be up and down the court. Obviously, my boy Karl Anthony Towns coming off that great performance I called. I don't think he's going to do exactly that again, but I can see him having another big game, another 30-point, 15-rebound game. You got Shai Gilgeous-Alexander on the other side who's gonna put up some numbers. So I can see this game ending, 116 to 120, something like that. So definitely take the over on that. And the last one I like is Clippers in Utah. I'll take the over on it's 220.5. I'll take the over on that. Again, another game, like you said, Utah's dwindling down here. And so I don't think there's going to be a lot of defense played in that game. The Clippers, obviously, we know Kawhi and Paul George are out. So I think there's going to be a lot of points. I can see this being a real big score, like a 130 to 120 kind of game. So give me the over on that one as well.
Love it, man. I'll tell you. I mean, the NBA is a lot of fun. If you pay attention, you're locked in on the NBA. To me, sometimes you can just see, like those over bets, like you're saying, especially when certain guys are out, certain guys are playing well. I mean, sometimes I just can't. I think they can't set the over high enough. I mean, that's one of the bets. I always think, like, when they set it at 230, it's like, I mean, how much higher can they go? I mean, they really can't go much higher. But yeah, love that one. Love that analysis. So here, I got two for tonight. I mean, I'm going to take the Spartans as one of my best bets. I think the Spartans are going to just lay it down to Davidson. I don't think they stand any chance. And the other one I got is the over in the Duke game. I think over 145. Give me that. I think it's going to be a pretty high scoring game. So give me that. But Spencer, I hope I don't jinx your team for you. But I just think the Big Ten's way too good. I think the Spartans are way too deep. I don't think there's any chance that they hang with them. I think it's going to be like that Buckeye game that we saw with Loyola. I mean, they just controlled all the way through, up by double digits. I think we're going to see the same thing here out of the Sparty game. But Spencer, that is going to do it today. Go ahead, bud.
I said I hope so. Go green. We can take.
There you go. Hey, Go Green is going to get us some green. That's what we're going to get out of it, Spencer. We get some of that money with Go Green today. And hey, this is where the professionals party today. We don't go out and party on St. Patrick's Day. We do to the next day here. But I'm going to continue having my fun today there, buddy. We're going to continue making some money. So, hey, we appreciate everybody listening. So for Fletch, for Spencer, I'm Scott. Appreciate you watching the Woodward Bet Show. We'll catch you tomorrow, and good luck with all your bets.